Paxton pressed his hand against the front window of the ice cream parlor. The menu board on the wall inside promised homemade flavors: graham cracker and chocolate marshmallow and peanut butter fudge. Flanking it, on one side, was a hardware store called Pop's, and on the other was a diner with a chrome and neon sign he couldn't quite make out. Delia's? Dahlia's? Paxton looked up and down the stretch of the main road. It was so easy to imagine the street bustling with people. All the life this place used to hold. It was the kind of town that could inspire feelings of nostalgia on the first visit. Now it was an echo fading in the white sunlight. He turned back to the ice cream parlor, the only business on the strip not boarded up with weathered plywood. The window was hot to the touch where the sun hit it, and coated in a layer of grit. Looking inside, at the dusty stacks of flared tin cups and the empty stools and the fallow refrigerators, Paxton wanted to feel some kind of regret about what this place must have meant to the town that surrounded it. But he had reached the limit of his sadness when he stepped off the bus. Just the act of being there was stretching his skin to bursting, like an overfilled balloon. Paxton hitched his bag over his shoulder and turned back into the horde shuffling down the sidewalk, trampling the grass jutting through the cracks in the concrete. There were still people coming up in the rear, older folks, people nursing injuries so they couldn't walk as well. 47 people had gotten off the bus. 47 people, not including him. About halfway through the 2-hour ride, when there was nothing left on his phone to capture his attention, he'd counted. Heavy-shouldered men with the calloused hands of day laborers, stooped office workers grown soft from years of hunching at keyboards. One girl couldn't have been more than 17. She was short and curvy, with long brown braids that reached down to her lower back and skin the color of milk. She wore an old lavender pantsuit, 2 sizes too big, the fabric faded and stretched from years of washing and wear. The sliver of an orange tag, like the kind used in second-hand stores, stuck out from its collar. Everyone carried luggage. Battered roller suitcases wobbling on uneven pavement, bags strapped to backs or slung over shoulders. Everyone sweating from exertion. The sun baked the top of Paxton's head. It must have been well past 100 degrees. Sweat ran down Paxton's legs, pooling in his underarms, making his clothes stick. Which was exactly why he wore black pants and a white shirt, so the sweat wouldn't show as much. The white-haired man next to him, the one who looked like a college professor put out to pasture, his beige suit was the color of wet cardboard. Hopefully the processing center was close. Hopefully it was cool. He just wanted to be inside. He could taste it on his tongue, dust blowing from ruined fields, no longer strong enough to keep a grip on anything. It had been cruel of the bus driver to drop them at the edge of town. He was probably staying close to the interstate to conserve gas, but still. The line ahead shifted, drifting to the right at the intersection. Paxton dug in harder. He wanted to stop to pull a bottle of water out of his bag, but pausing at the ice cream parlor had been an indulgence. There were now more people ahead of him than behind. As he neared the corner, a woman launched past him, clipping his side, making enough contact he almost stumbled. She was older, Asian, with a mop of white hair on her head and a leather satchel looped around her shoulder, making a hard push for the front of the pack. But the effort proved to be too much, and within a couple of feet she tripped, went down hard on her knee. The people around her stepped to the side, gave her room, but didn't stop. Paxton knew why. A little voice in his head screamed, "Keep walking." But of course he couldn't, so he helped her get to her feet. Her bare knee was scratched red, a long trail of blood running down her leg to her tennis shoe, so thick the line was black.